In the heart of Abakuta, the hot sun burned down on the busy market. Young Kehinde hustled between makeshift stalls, her eyes scanning the ground for anything valuable. Her family struggled to make ends meet, and she needed to find something, anything, to help. In all the noise and chatter, something sparkled at the edge of her vision. What is that?" Kehinde muttered to herself. As she bent down, she realized it was a well-worn leather wallet, slightly open on the dusty path. Her heart skipped. Carefully, she picked it up. "Ah, who go throw away money like this?" she whispered, opening it just enough to peek. There were several Naira notes inside, crisp and untouched. She looked around, checking if anyone was watching, but everyone seemed engrossed in their own business. Unbeknownst to her, a man in his early 40s watched from a distance, his gaze fixed on her every move. Kehinde continued to look around, feeling a tug of conscience. "I can't just take this," she thought, clutching the wallet tight against her chest. She tucked it under her wrapper and moved quickly towards a quieter side of the market, where she could think properly. The man leaned back against a pole, his face a mask of curiosity and silent judgment. His name was Mr. Aid, a well-known trader in the market. To him, this was not just about the money Kehinde now held. As Kehinde walked, her mind raced. She needed to help her family, but this didn't seem right. Suddenly, she remembered Mama Tunde's tailor shop, a safe haven where she often helped for extra coins. "Maybe Mama Tunde will know what to do," she thought, slipping into the small shop. "Kehinde, how now? You look worried," Mama Tunde said, adjusting her glasses. Mama Tunde eyed her curiously as Kehinde slowly revealed the wallet. "This was just lying there in the market. What should I do?" Mama Tunde frowned slightly. "Keeping it would mean trouble if anyone finds out. But it might be a blessing in disguise, my dear." "It's not an easy decision," she said, touching Kehinde's shoulder reassuringly. Behind the shop curtain, Mr. Adi listened intently. He had followed Kehinde, keeping his presence hidden. Mama Tunde sighed, seating Kehinde on a low stool. "We'll figure it out. For now, just be cautious." Kehinde nodded, her heart heavy. She promised to wait and decide together with Mama Tunde later. Outside, Mr. Aid made his move. He knew he needed to speak to Kehinde, but timing was everything. He had information that could change everything for her. That evening, as the market packed up and the sun dipped below the horizon, Kehinde returned home, still holding the wallet. Her mother, Bisi, was cooking over a small fire outside their tiny home. "Kehinde, is everything okay?" Bisi asked, noticing her daughter's distracted state. "Yes, Mama," Kehinde replied, but her voice was unusually quiet. She joined her mother, hiding her inner turmoil. As night fell, the cramped house was filled with silence. Kehinde lay awake on her mat, her mind a whirl of possibilities and fears. She knew the decision she faced was huge. The thought of what she could do with the money for her family nagged at her. In the dark, she whispered to herself, "What will happen if I keep it? Is it really mine to take?" The next morning, Kehinde returned to the market, the wallet still hidden under her wrapper. Mr. Aid spotted her immediately. This was his chance. He approached her with a nod. "I saw what you found yesterday," Mr. Aid said calmly. Kehinde froze, panic rising in her throat. "You don't have to worry," he added quickly. "I think we can help each other." Kehinde eyed him warily. "How?" "You see," Mr. Odd began, "that wallet belongs to someone important. If you help me return it, I could make sure you're rewarded." Kehinde hesitated. "Who?" "It's the wallet of Chief Olawu," Mr. Odd revealed. "If you give it back, I'll speak to him about helping your family. He is influential and appreciates honesty." Kehinde's heart pounded. "But how do I know this is true?" Mr. Aid smiled kindly. "Come with me to his place. If I'm lying, you'll know." Kehinde glanced at the busy market, then back at Mr. Aid. She took a deep breath, stepping into a decision, her mind swirling with both hope and fear. When they arrived at Chief Olawu's imposing residence, Kehinde's nerves frayed. The house was grand, with high walls and a black gate guarded by two tall men. Mr. Ade led her in, reassuring her with a nod. "Chief will be pleased," he said, guiding her through the halls filled with luxurious furniture and rich decor. In a large room, Chief Olawu sat at a wide desk, his gaze shrewd and expectant as they entered. "Ah, good afternoon, sir," Mr. Ade greeted him. This young lady found your missing item. Chief's brows rose, interest peaked, as Mr. Aide presented Kehinde to him. Kehinde stepped forward, holding out the wallet with trembling hands. Chief Olowu studied her silently for a moment before breaking into a warm smile. You did well, my dear. Honesty is rare these days. Tell me, how can I thank you? He asked in a deep, generous voice. Kehinde was stunned, words failing her. She glanced at Mr. Aide, who nodded encouragement. Please, sir, Kehinde finally whispered, her voice barely steady. I just want my family to have a better life. Chief Olowu leaned back, thoughtful. Consider it done. Your integrity will not go unrewarded. But just as a flicker of relief began to form in Kehinde's chest, a woman stormed into the room, eyes blazing. Olumide, she shouted, eyeing the wallet. How dare you involve strangers in family matters? Kehinde stood frozen, unsure of how to respond to the imposing woman who had burst into the room, her voice demanding answers. Mr. Aide's face betrayed a flicker of fear, as if he were caught in a tangled web he had not intended to weave. Who is this girl, Aide? The woman demanded, eyes narrowing suspiciously at Kehinde. Mr. Aide swallowed hard, his voice faltering. She found the chief's wallet, Jumoke. I thought what? Jumoke cut in sharply. That you could play the hero in our family matters? Kehinde's mind spun with confusion. The air in the room had shifted, the promise of help turning sour in an instant. Chief Olowu's gaze swept between Mr. Aide and the fiery woman, trying to piece together the unfolding drama. Chief Olowu held up a hand. No need to leave, he said, more kindly now. You acted in honesty, and for that I am grateful. But Kehinde's heart was no longer in it. The promises seemed as fragile as her earlier dreams. She glanced at Mr. Aide, seeking assurance, but his eyes were now filled with an apology he couldn't yet voice. Relieved to step back from the family's tensions, Kehinde turned to leave, her mind a jumble of thoughts and emotions. She slipped out quietly, with Mr. Aide following closely behind, his steps echoing with regret. Outside, the air was heavy with unspoken words. Kehinde paused, turning to face him. Did I do something wrong? She asked, her voice betraying her distress. A few days passed, and Kehinde tried to lose herself in routine tasks at Mama Tunde's shop, but her thoughts were tied to the events that unfolded at Chief Olowu's home. The promise of change had retreated into the shadows, leaving an emptiness she didn't know how to fill. One quiet afternoon, Mama Tunde noticed Kehinde's distracted demeanor. Kehinde, my child, she said softly, pulling up a stool opposite hers. You seem troubled. What weighs on your heart? Kehinde hesitated, but then unraveled the tale of the wallet and its aftermath, her words tinged with anxiety and confusion. Mama Tunde listened intently, nodding as she took in the situation. After a pause, she said, Sometimes doing the right thing isn't about immediate rewards, but holding on to what we know is true. Life is rarely straightforward, my dear. As she left the shop that evening, Kehinde walked through the bustling market, feeling the weight of uncertainty lifting slightly. She was beginning to understand that the right path might not always gleam with success, but with peace. But as she turned a corner, she came face to face with Jumoke. The woman's eyes were softened, the earlier fire replaced by something almost akin to regret. I came to find you, Jumoke admitted, her voice less severe than before. I owe you an apology. Our family's issues are complicated. You got caught in the storm through no fault of your own. Kehinde was taken aback by the unexpected encounter. I didn't mean to. Jumoke raised a hand. You did nothing wrong. Your honesty was a blessing, even though my own anger clouded my judgment. They stood in the market, amid bustling sounds and people weaving around them. Jumoke looked at Kehinde, sincerity in her eyes. If you ever need anything, come to me directly. I can't promise much, but I can promise to listen and help where I can. Kehinde nodded, her heart warming a little at the fragile bridge being built between them. Jumoke handed Kehinde a small piece of paper with a number scribbled on it. Call me if you need, she said before turning back into the crowd, leaving Kehinde clutching the paper, feeling a mix of relief and hope. But the exchange had left another mark, a gnawing reminder of the void in her life that neither revenge nor alliances could fill. That night back home, Kehinde knelt quietly beside her bed. In the shadows of her small room, she bowed her head and prayed. It was a whisper, a quiet plea lifted to the heavens. God, I don't know what to do next. Help me find peace within all this chaos, she breathed, hoping her words would blossom into answers. Meanwhile, Mr. Ade sat in his own home, his thoughts plagued by the unintended ripple effect of his actions. Seated alone, he remembered his mother's gentle reminder. Revenge and deceit only dig deeper holes. Only the love of God can fill them. For the first time in a long time, he found himself humbled by the realization that his motivations had been skewed, his hopes of playing a savior misplaced. The next morning, he sought out Kehinde, finding her near the market once more. He approached cautiously, humility woven into his expression. I've been thinking a lot. I owe you an apology, Kehinde, he began earnestly. Kehinde looked at him, feeling the sincerity in his words. What you said, it's okay, we all make mistakes. It's more than that, he pressed. What I did wasn't right. You taught me a lesson about integrity and faith. That's something I need to hold on to, he said, almost as much to himself as to her. Together they walked through the market, the burden of unspoken words now lifted between them. Later, as Kehinde sat beneath the shade of a large tree near her home, she couldn't help but smile softly. A Bible rested beside her, a gift from Mama Tunde, who had placed it in her hands with a kind smile that said, "Whenever you need it." Kehinde opened it, the words within promising stories of grace and redemption, a balm for her wounds and guidance for the journey that lay ahead.
Thank you so much for listening to this intriguing story. I hope it touched you or taught you something. For more stories like this, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the page. And guys, if you'd like to see a part 2, or you have thoughts on what happened, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. See you in the next story.